we are seeing that investors are probably going to put it more on hold rather than a sell-off, and basically we'll probably wait out for another couple of quarters because a lot of actions that we have seen at the ground level, in terms of whether it was the RBI rate cuts, whether it is the tax breaks, whether it's the liquidity push, lower inflation, all of that at the ground level should probably start playing out in the next 2 3 quarters, and maybe during the festival season. So probably that's the hope. So I think overall, if you see wherever good results, we are seeing decent traction. Wherever not so good results, we are probably markets are putting them on hold.
Sachin, hi. Afternoon. This is Kavita, and good to have you back on the show as well. All right, so let's talk about big bold themes here for next 6 months. What is on your radar? I think last time when we spoke, you were bullish on the consumption sector and themes around that. What's your take on the second half of this current financial year?
Yeah, so clearly, when it comes to, like, as I was mentioning, that a lot of factors, as far as macros are concerned, all seem to be in favor of the Indian economy to, actually start doing much better, particularly in the second half of this financial year, which is during the festival season, and and in fact, this kind of festival season is also going to be a little earlier. So maybe the sometime in September, October, November itself, we should see decent amount of demand coming back. And clearly, it's getting a lot of stimulus from the regulator side. Plus, I think the global inflation is also very supportive, whether it's oil prices or a lot of other ferrous and non-ferrous metal prices. So all of that should really help as far as the demand pickup is concerned. I think even when you see some of the earnings season at this point in time, I think most of the businesses which are more domestic, they seem to be doing reasonably okay. And within that, I think the leaders are doing even better. So clearly, that's one thing. I think another very big thing is if you see in terms of the selective capex. Also, when we hear some of the management commentaries in this season, I think that also seems to be under a good trajectory. So I think overall, we believe that the current earnings season is panning out fairly decent, and probably the second and third quarter most likely should do even better.
Sachin, hi, Ankur this side. I want to know your view on pharma sector in the light of the tariff threats which are there currently, and I also see significant part of your exposure is there in pharma. How you believe one should navigate for this sector? Do you think it is a good bet at the current juncture?
Yeah, sure, you're right. So basically, as I was mentioning about all the macros being very positive for the Indian economy, but just one big overhang which still remains a lingering thing is the tariffs, obviously. So that's one thing that, and again, the tariffs relative to the other countries, that is something that we need to really watch out for. As far as pharma sector is concerned, yes, we've been fairly constructive on this sector for. So whether it's Divi's Lab, whether it's Laura's Lab, we've been owners of these businesses for a while now, and we believe that these are businesses which are like have a secular theme for the next 3 to 5 years. Not only China plus one, but even Europe plus one in terms of the outsourcing as a theme, and companies, some of the all the companies in this sector, particularly the leaders, have actually established with their customers their right to win in terms of their domain expertise, in terms of the setting up very, very large capacities. Even currently, the kind of the capex announces that we are hearing from these companies is really, really large. What we've not seen cumulatively for the last maybe 5 7 years is what we are going to see in the next 2 3 years. So I think that's another very important thing. And also third, and which is also very important, is the kind of the comfort that they give to their customers in terms of the respecting their intellectual property rights, because a lot of these companies, they work on patented products or some of these NCEs. So that comfort as far as their confidentiality on their IPRs is also very critical. So I think that's one space we believe that has long legs, at least for the next 3, 5, 7 years. So we continue to be very, very positive on that.
Absolutely.
Tariffs on that, I understand, but I think it's also a function of the value proposition that this company bring to their customers.
Correct.
If they have a strong value proposition compared to the other countries or the companies in the other countries, I think they will find their way out.
That's right. So pharma sector is in the pink of the health, and the expert expects it to be the same going ahead as well. But Sachin, I also want to understand your views on the automobile sector, both from the global front and the eventual impact coming to the domestic market. Because as you see, the tariff implications, first 15% was announced for Japan, and the latest one is for the European Union, again in particular for the cars itself. Now 15%, that number indeed is very less versus what was anticipated earlier. So how do you believe this helping the automobile space, and do you see some good times for the global automobile makers and then eventual impact coming to India, or is it too early to say?
No, we definitely believe that as far as the exports is concerned and auto components is concerned, I think we have a very large opportunity. Again, very similar to pharma. Our companies have established the right to win with a lot of these customers. They have relationships. They have been supplying the components. They're a lot, again, supplying to large OEs globally. In fact, not only in globally, but even in India. I think there is a very long gestation period as far as the product approvals are concerned. And our companies have already actually surpassed that hurdles. They have the confidence of their global customers in terms of their quality checks. So I think that's very positive. Second, I think another very important thing is in terms of the domestic side, right? Because today domestic still is a very large market for our OEs. And there we are not seeing very great numbers in the last, I would say, at least 3, 4 months in this financial year now, or maybe even the last 6 months. But again, there the hope is that with all the measures that both the government and the RBI has taken in the last few months, at the ground level during the festival season, we should see demand coming back very strong.
Sachin, since we have you and we do not take any tips for our viewers' portfolio, that's not going to happen. So now let's talk about reallocation and rebalancing one's portfolio. Going in the past or just rewinding some time back, whichever asset class you had in your portfolio, you got money out of it, whether it was equity, it was debt, even crypto for that matter. Having said that, scenarios have changed, the market tone has changed, and so I'm sure even your strategies, which obviously is we are witnessing as per the commentary that you're giving us. But having said that, from an investor portfolio level, a lot needs to be aligned as per the financial goals. But having said that, within equity, do you still suggest going heavy on SMID, or you think, one needs to have consistency and protection in the portfolio, better to be on the large cap side?
Well, see, a few months back, we were very clear that as far as the risk reward is there, the large caps have. But I think what also happens is amount of
All right. Thank you so much, Sachin, for joining at this hour and sharing your views to our viewers. With this, it's time to take a very quick break. After the break, we'll discuss more stocks which are buzzing in trade today.